Instagram.
Alright, I tried to find something else for you guys to watch, so I had another second, but now it won't turn off. Ah, there we go. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Workbench Wednesday. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff here tonight. We're going to look at some footage from the Maiden of the 3.5-inch 250 from Oh My God. It's rad. This combination of all up weight, motors, prop size, and run cam hybrid is electric. We're going to look at that first, I think. Then we're also going to take a look at some 75mm Tiny Whoop with Insta360 Go footage. Finally have some. This is with the T-Motor Prototype 0803 22,000 kV motors on the big Gemfan 4-blade props. Real good. No jello at all. I used it to do some practice and some test runs for a promo piece that actually came out today that we're going to watch as well, which I'm super happy with. So lots of good stuff going on tonight. And then we're also going to start on a ESC swap on the Basher glide, the first glide up in the air. It looks like I did finally kill an Acon 20x20 ESC. My God, did it take a lot of batteries and a lot of abuse to do that. Very impressed. I still haven't been able to kill one of the 3030s, but I was able to kill one of the V1 20x20s. Apparently the V2 20x20s are just as indestructible as the 30x30, which is just nuts, and that's what I'm going to put. That's what I'm going to put into it. So we shall see. In the chat, Yannick G, Motoref FPV, FPV Trucker, Northern Tier FPV, RC Ritter, Richard, Alpha Slaw, CMYK FPV in the house, Brian Ladmiral, Todd Tube, Athix FPV, Dan Richmond T-Bird, John Dyson, and it looks like that's it. There were more people here on the early squad, but YouTube decided to delete all your comments, so blame YouTube. This is my full-time job. If you'd like to support me on this crazy journey that I'm on, there's a million ways to do so. A bunch are over on CiatiFPV.com. A bunch are down here. Thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell, comment, all that good stuff. Over on CiatiFPV.com, which I'm sure a moderator will drop a link to in a second. But it's just CIOTTIFPV.com. You can just type it in. There's a whole bunch of ways here. Patreon helps me out the most. $3 whole a month is going to get you in to the Patreon page. There are all kinds of benefits, audio podcast versions of all these live streams, tech articles over there, exclusive edits. I have a YouTube playlist with like 80-some videos that's Patreon only. So all kinds of really good content. If you like to watch me fly, if you like to watch, I don't know, unreleased stuff, the Patreon page for $3 whole a month, which is 10 cents a day. Come on now. Come on now. You know you got 10 cents today. You can't tell me you didn't walk around and you were like, 10 cents. That was weird. I don't know. But yeah, it's only 10 cents a day. Cheaper than Netflix. But much less entertaining. You're also going to get email, Facebook, and Discord notifications when I live stream if you join the Patreon page. And there's a whole bunch of other really cool benefits, none of which is important as supporting your big old gangly buddy, CiatiFPV. YouTube and Instagram, make sure you jump over to the Instagram. I just posted actually, you know what, we'll play it. We'll play the video that I just put up over on Instagram because it's just that good. Bunch of stickers and hardware over on Etsy, bunch of cool stuff going on Fiverr, and some really cool new t-shirts. Let's take a really quick look. Here are a whole bunch of the stickers that I've got up on the Etsy store and a bunch of random hardware that might help you out with your builds. Over on Fiverr, I'm doing all kinds of good stuff. FPV flight instruction and or flight coaching via the simulator, via Velocidrone or Liftoff. We do an audio call, you fly, I watch you fly, I get your stick overlay, and I make suggestions, talk to you about who your favorite pilots are, give you some drills to work on, and put you on a path to flying more like who your favorite pilots are. It feels really good to fly good, and you went to school and a bunch of teachers helped you learn stuff quicker, right? I can do the same thing, I promise. I'm also doing tuning. If you like the way that my tune looks, nice and soft, but at the same time no prop wash, I can help you out with that, a nice cinematic look. If you want a sharper tune, I can help you out with that as well. It's just more feed forward, that's all. And then this is build planning down here. Stop wasting money on garbage parts. Send me that money and I'll tell you the right parts to buy. You'll even out. It'll be the same amount of money, but you'll be much happier in life because you won't have gone through all the frustration and wasted all of the time that is buying garbage parts, installing them, having them catch on fire, removing them, installing the right parts. Let me help you. Help me help you. I'm also working with Remy Tim on FPV mentoring. If you've got anybody that's trying to get into the hobby, get them linked up with Remy Tim. He can make sure that they don't quit out of frustration because, as we all know, this is the most frustrating hobby known to man. And then Finn FPV is editing flight footage. If you want to look like a better pilot than you actually are, Finn can certainly help you out. I'm about to send him over all of the footage. So that at the opening of the stream there, that was the first battery I flew at the Flow State pre-party. I don't know. I invited a bunch of you guys out to fly with me before Flow State 2 Saturdays ago, and we did some flying there. I'm going to be sending Finn all of my footage from that little session in 2 different spots, and yeah, he's going to edit it up, make me look good, make me look better than I actually am, and you guys will have a fancy new edit to watch over here on the YouTube channel. You're on here now. So yeah, lots of really cool stuff on the Fiverr page. And then look at this new design that CMYK FPV did. Here's the rest of the Teespring page. Lots of really cool stuff. A NASA ripoff logo. The collective here. The Nut Grabber shirt. Come on, you can't tell me you don't want a shirt that says Nut Grabber on the front. Clam Man, of course.
諦めんなよ。諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだそこで。もう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダメ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ。応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろって。あともうちょっとのところなんだから。俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ。絶対やってみろ。必ず目標達成できる。だからこそネバギブアップ。
Figured I'd not butt in on the actual Clam Man giving you that never give up. Hey, also here's a collective hoodie, which is pretty cool. Hey, if you guys see a design that's like on a hoodie but you want it to be on a t-shirt, just tell me. I can do that really quick on Teespring. If there's like a color that I don't have on here that you want, just tell me. I can do that for you. It'll take like 3 seconds. Don't even feel remotely bad about asking me to do that. Some purple on purple stuff here if you want that super subtle look. But come on now, all you car guys, get this design. It's on a poster, it's on a premium t-shirt, it's on a little tote bag, which is super handy to have. I'm serious, tote bags for FPV stuff are the best. You'll only look like a little bit of a basic bitch, I swear. And then a phone case because I need a phone case. There's a 2-color version of this coming soon. Let me show it to you real quick. CMYK just sent this over. So there's a 2-color version of it, white outline with the red, and then white on white as well. So I'm going to be adding a bunch more variations of this. I think probably just, I don't know, maybe just, what the hell. I'll throw a whole bunch of different versions on here. There's no reason not to. So that'll be really cool. If you want to wait for the 2-tone, totally fine. If you like the red on red, which I kind of dig as well, jump on over to the Teespring store, linked over at CiatiFPV.com, and you can get yours. FPV Exchange is a beautiful website made by a beautiful man who supports the FPV community more than you could possibly imagine. Xenakis Nevin has created FPV Exchange. It's a website where you can sell your old stuff and you can price compare when you're ready to buy some stuff. FPV Exchange pulls from other websites and lists all of the items, and then on items that are sold on multiple websites, it's going to give you each individual listing as well as anybody who has who's selling it individually. It's a really good site. Nevin is saving lives in an ER all day long, and then he comes home and does cool FPV stuff for all of our benefit. Show him some love. Get your ass on FPV Exchange. Sign up, import a bunch of your purchases, and sell your old stuff. And then you can buy new stuff. A bunch of affiliate links here too. If you guys are ever doing orders on any of these websites, if you change your bookmark to the affiliate link, you won't have to think about it. Or if you just hit any one of these links before you do your order, I'm going to get 1 to 6% of your entire shopping cart. FPV Cycle, Amazon, yeah, Amazon. Like if you're buying a t-shirt on Amazon, I can get 1% of it. Get FPV, Oh My God's website, FPV Crate, Banggood, ND Filters on Camera Butter, and AliExpress. Here's a link to my PayPal. If you don't want to do a super chat because YouTube takes 30%, you can just use this PayPal me link. Here's my Facebook page. Make sure you jump over there and like it, because there's all kinds of good stuff going on there as well. This is a link to FPV Therapy. FPV Therapy is a Facebook group that I started a little over a year ago for those of us that struggle with mental illness to hang out and just try to get through each and every day together. One of the more evil things about mental illness is that it tells you that you're all alone. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. I've had it my whole life, and I will have it my whole life. Most of the really close friends that I've got are also in that in that boat with me. It's a really shitty disease that really sucks, but it is something that you can live with. And if you need an example of that, look no further. I went from the deepest, darkest depression of my life last year that I almost didn't make it out of, quite literally, to being on top of the fucking world and doing something that I love with an amazing group of people that come here and hang out with me every other day. So, yeah, you can do it too. 1 in 5 or so, 1 in 10. I keep hearing all different numbers. I hear 1 in 2. People struggle with some form of mental illness. You're not alone. There's a whole bunch of us that are being as brave as we can over on Facebook, or just message me, and there's always going to be somebody here to help you. I swear to that. I swear to you. We'll get through this shit together and live a life worth living. Cool? Finally, we've got a link to BattleBots info. If you haven't seen this yet, click it. You'll get a laugh. I promise. Enough fucking around. Let's look at some 3.5-inch propellered 250. Wait, no. Let me get caught up on chat first. Change of plans. Well, I can probably just... Let me put it on while I'm getting caught up on chat. I think it's on... No. It's on this hard drive. Here we go. Is it? Yeah. All right. I'm going to put this on, and I'm just going to talk over it. And then I'm going to put it on again and give you a little bit of a play-by-play, I guess. So this was the legit Maiden. This was on the GemFan 3520 props. 3520. 3.5-inch 20 pitch. 20 pitch is pretty low. The rig that they're being flown on is the 250 frame from Umagod with the 4-inch arms, and then X-Nova 1804 motors, which are 3500 kV on a 4S 850. The all-up weight is roughly 280 grams, and then the flight footage that you're looking at is through the RunCam Hybrid. This electronics package was in the Acrobrat, and the Acrobrat is on 3-inch props. I was actually running it on 3140, so 3.1-inch 40 pitch T-motor props, and it was about the same all-up weight. It was maybe a couple of grams lighter, and the difference is pretty incredible. I'm really kind of blown away by the difference in those 3140 propellers to these. These here are the Emax Avan 3528, 28 pitch, 3.5-inch. But even on the GemFan props that you're going to look at in a second here, unreal. This is, well, here, look. Oh, I'm so sorry. Rest in peace, anyone who had the volume turned up. I'm so sorry about that. Maybe this won't be as loud. Okay, good. In the chat, what do we got going on? FPV Trucker says what's cracking. CMYK FPV says what up, dude. T-Bird says what's up. B-Man FPV says what's up. Athix FPV says he broke an arm on his 250 due to falling out of a tree. Turtled out of the tree for context. What did it hit, Athix? Did it hit concrete or did it hit grass? And 4-inch arms, 5-inch arms. Also, what's the all-up weight? Give us more details. Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiatiFPV.com. Thank you, Frank. C Young FPV saying hey. Vern Kelk saying, did you spot the 7-inch 6S vid I posted in the Discord chat? I did not, Vern. I don't really spend much time on Discord. I'm just absolutely slammed. Yeah, I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to try to spend more time on Discord, but I'm getting more and more busy, so I really doubt it, to be honest. The Discord is more for you guys to hang out. You guys are an amazing community. And I hope that's, yeah, I mean, nobody's bitched that I haven't been on the Discord yet, so I can't imagine why they would now, but, yeah, that's mainly for you guys on there. I love to see you guys posting in there and chatting back and forth. Such a cool little group of people that have surrounded themselves by the gangly man here. B-Man FPV says, help me, help you, help me, help you, help me, help me, help you, help me, help you, Ciati FPV. Rob Axelson says, evening, ladies. Mr. Huggy says, how about we send the garbage parts to you? We don't have to be frustrated, but you will be. No deal, Mr. Huggy. Phil Sonnenberg says, good evening. Brian Ladmiral says, I just ordered an Insta360 Go 2. Excited. I also grabbed some of the FPV Cycle 30mm motors for my new 7-inch Cineglide. Also building an 18660 HX 115 Nano long range with Express LRS and GPS. Very cool, Brian. That's going to be a fun little lightweight, long range build. Drone Drops says, hey man, all good. Just checking in again. Greatest FPV dude on the net. Thank you, Drone Drops. Very kind of you to say. Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiatiFPV.com. Brian Ladmiral saying, I'm building 3 new quads at the same time right now. I'm killing my wild, but very happy. All that matters. You see the accuracy that this thing has around this jungle gym? I've never experienced this before. I've never flown a rig that has this kind of control around that little jungle gym. This little jungly gym thing is kind of like, it's really tight, and it's like this really cool little like testing spot for micros and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something magic about the 3.5-inch prop thing at this weight. We'll talk more about it in a second. I'm almost caught up on the chat. Grizz FPV says, I knew you would love it. I was surprised how it handled. And then Grizz talking about the 250. And then June Loco says, what's up? What's up, Collective? Ricardo Ferreira typed my name, misspelled my name, so it didn't light it up in orange, but I just happened to see it. He says, is it me, or do I see nowadays braiding motor wires? Is that a trend now? People have been doing that for a while. I don't really like it because the motor wires are pretty heavy and it adds additional motor wire. So I don't really do it. I prefer to do LED race wires. But to each his or her own. What I do like about the braiding motor wire thing is that because it adds a little bit of extra wire, if someday down the road you need to put the motors onto longer arms, you have a little bit of extra wire there. But my solution to that is the race wires, because you can just extend the wires that you're soldering from the ESC to the race wire itself. So that's how I get around that problem. So the left props were kind of dug into the ground a little bit there. And what's up, Genix? How are you, man? Xenakis is in the house. There he is. We were just talking about him. Only good things, Nevin. Don't you worry. So yeah, this is the end of the battery. The flight time is just bananas on this setup too. I was getting 5.5 minutes out of a 4S 850. So what I'm gonna do is, for whatever 3.5-inch rig that I go with on these motors, I'm gonna go down to like a 700 mAh GNB battery. I don't really need this much runtime. I would rather have a little bit less weight and a little bit more durability. So yeah, I'm really, man, this setup really kind of blew me away. So let's go. I talked over the majority. I talked over some of that. Let's go to the Emax props. You're gonna notice that. Well, here's the full setup. This up on the Emax Avan Scimitar, 3.5 by 2.8 by 3s. Same setup, X-Nova 1804 3500s. This is a different battery though. This is a Tattoo R-Line 4S 850 on the 250 with 4-inch arms. So there's the setup. Again, 1804 motors by X-Nova, 3500 kV. These motors are beat too. Look at the complete lack of jello. This is the worst time of day to be flying. This is middle of the day, sun pretty much completely overhead. This is where you get jello with all micro, not all micros other than mine, it seems like. Just crystal clear. And these X-Nova motors are kind of beat up. Like, these have been on the Acrobrat for over a year. So this is not like a fresh set of motors or anything like that. These are kind of whooped. Two of these motors have some, I wouldn't say serious vibrations, but I mean some definite vibrations. You might notice a little bit more power with these. Yeah, like look at that fling right there. Definitely more power with these Emax props, which makes sense. The Gemfan props are 20 pitch. These are 28 pitch. We can see a little bit of prop in view on the left and right. We can also see a little bit of camera cage in view. This is a prototype camera cage that Tommy made for me. I'm gonna upload. So after this public stream, I'm gonna do a Patreon only stream at 10 o'clock. And I'm gonna edit down these two batteries into just like a simple little edit that I'm gonna send to Tommy to show him the I'm trying to kind of sell Tommy on the magic of the Runcam Hybrid here. So I want him to be able to see this in 4K. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, this footage is ridiculous. And like, you know, I talk a lot on these streams about how I have a little bit of a different approach to building micros, in that I build micros a little bit heavier than most. Like, most people go the toothpick route and just try to make them just crazy lightweight. I like to make them a little bit heavier than most, and what I'm basically trying to do by doing that, not like full-blown heavy, there's a really fine line here. I try to match the ratio of like all up weight to prop size as closely on a micro as I can to a 5-inch freestyle rig. And that's what this rig feels like. Chris Rosser did the math, as did Bob Ruge, at some point. And at 250 grams, a 3.5-inch prop is the correct amount of surface area to mimic a 5-inch freestyle rig. And this rig is such a good example of that. And I also assume that that's why I'm so confident with this rig. Like, this really has the feel of a 5-inch freestyle rig, but easily flyable outside, off your front deck. I mean, I've managed to get that from the Ripsqueaks at about 210 grams on the 3-inch prop. But this is a little bit closer to the prop size, and yeah, I don't know why this feels so good. Like right off the rip here, without any. I mean, usually I've got to mess with the tuning. I've got to play around with like which battery. This was just like dialed from the actual Maiden. I mean, this is the second battery I ever flew on it. I was really holding back because I didn't want to break it yet, but I mean, I don't know. This is kind of magic. The 3.5-inch prop thing at 250-ish grams. This thing is actually 380, so I think 350 is maybe a little bit too light. This rig will never be at 350. Look at that. Look at the power. And then the float. Tell me that doesn't look like a 5-inch rig on a smaller scale, right? Like that's the thing that you guys really need to remember, right? Is that this is a spot for a micro. This is not a spot for a 5-inch rig. A 5-inch rig would feel horrible here because it's just too goddamn fast. You gotta kind of like shrink the scale of your flying when you start flying micros. It's kind of the point, right? Like, you don't build a micro to fly around a football field. You build it to fly around here. And man, I don't know. This, I'm just shocked. I mean, look at that. Look how good that looks. Well, it looks like ass for you guys because this computer can only handle 720p streaming. But on the Patreon only stream at 10 o'clock, we're going to edit this down, and then I'll upload the 4K. And the 4K footage is actually going to be Patreon only as well. So give me your $3, whether you like it or not, and you can see how dope this footage looks. This is actually 2.7K 60 frames. I didn't shoot in 4K 30 because I knew that this computer wouldn't be able to handle it. Next time I fly the rig, I will set it to 4K. But what I've found is that on anything other than like a GoPro, 2.7K looks identical to 4K. So maybe I actually won't. Maybe I actually won't fly it in 4K because it just gives my computer diarrhea. It gives my computer diarrhea. I gotta remember that one. Oh boy. That's a good one. That and a really good friend of mine introduced me. I'd heard this word before, but she said it in the perfect context. The word fuckery. I gotta start using the word fuckery more. It's just so good. June Loco says, show us how to wire up the Goku Flywoo F745 16x16 stack for analog, please. No, June Loco, I will not. Because I don't have that stack. I mean, what is... I mean, a stack is a stack. Is there something weird about it that's, like, more difficult to wire up than a regular stack? Let me know. Tag me if there's something weird about it and I can maybe talk you through it, but most stacks, you just follow the instructions and wire them on up. Metal Dirtson says, I wonder if the QAVS 4-inch on that same powertrain would be as good. I know the frame weighs a bit more, though. I doubt it, Metal Dirtskin. The QAVS Mini 4-inch is dead cat and kind of sort of more meant for long range stuff. The rear arms are very long because of the fact that it's dead cat. So it's definitely not going to crash as good, and it's definitely not going to be as balanced. You know, that's more of a long range frame. This is a straight up freestyle frame through and through, right? Like true-ish X. No, I guess this is squished X. Squished X geometry, but perfect center of gravity. You'll probably have trouble getting the center of gravity dialed on that QAVS mini frame. When I put the battery on top, I just kind of like, it looks like it should be right about there, and I held it from the center, and it was just perfectly balanced. And you can see that when I chop the throttle, there's zero throttle chop bobble. That fucking footage is like crazy from the. I'm just. Yeah. Xnova 1804s, yo. 3.5-inch props, yo. 270, 280 grams, yo. Fucking weapon. Weapon. And the QAVS frame does weigh a little bit more. So yeah, I can't see it being better than this for freestyle, but I can see it being better than this for long range or cinematic stuff. because of the fact that it's dead cat, you're not going to have propellers in the HD feed. Although here's the real problem with the QAVS Mini 4-inch is that you can't put a RunCam hybrid in it. There's just no way to do it. It's got vertical camera plates that are not meant for it, and you can't change the height of the deck to fit the damn thing. So if you want to run a RunCam hybrid, this is kind of it, which is really a shame because, I mean, those of you that are on my Patreon will get to see tomorrow the footage in 4K. Well, here, let me do this. Let me pause it, and I can zoom really hard to kind of show you guys how ridiculous this looks. Let me wait until I'm kind of going slow, because there is some motion blur. All right, so here, look at this. How can I zoom on this? Open Apple equal? There we go. Open Apple equal. Okay. What are you doing? Don't just move it to the side. Zoom on it. Maybe I can't. I don't. I mean, I can do this, but this doesn't actually zoom. It just jacks it all up. I don't know. I don't know how to show you guys how good quality this is, but like this looks better than the Session 4, man. Like this is crazy. The only problem with the RunCam hybrid is when you go between shadows and brights, it doesn't do as good of a job as the GoPros. But other than that, my God, the quality is beautiful. Let me. This is the flying from the Gem fans here again. Yeah, I don't really know how to show you guys. I don't know how to give you guys a good representation of the quality. You'll just have to join my Patreon for $3 whole and wait until tonight, because I'll upload it to the Patreon only playlist. See if I can get that playlist to 100 videos. Ooh. Okay. Come on, what are you doing? Inna, come on, work. There we go. Okay. In the chat, what are you guys chatting about? Chomper FPV is in the house. What's up, brother? Richard says, I bought my last RunCam hybrid from the Oh My God site. Richard, did you remember to use my affiliate link? You probably did, because I've had a bunch of orders. I've had a bunch of you guys remember my affiliate link on Oh My God site. Very cool of you. Grizz FPV says, please do so. He will start making them. What are we talking about, Grizz? Are we talking about the camera cage? He already knows. I've already let him know that there's a bunch of you guys that want this camera cage. Patio Patterson says, China Hobby Line Orange 4S 650 are 87 grams and only $11 at RDQ. Wow, damn. Admittedly, that's pretty heavy for a 4S 650, which is pretty normal. China Hobby Line batteries are always the heaviest of the bunch. GNBs are lighter, and then Tattoo R lines are even lighter yet. So I've moved away from those China Hobby Line batteries just because they're too heavy. But what's cool about the China Hobby Line batteries is they're really durable. And 4S 650s for $11, that's a damn good deal. So anybody in the market for 4S 650s, that's a good battery for like the Ripsqueak, for example. It would totally work on this. You'd probably get like 3 minutes of runtime out of that 4S 650. That's a pretty good deal there. Good call, Patio Patterson. Thanks for letting everybody know. Hey, Robin Lawson Duckett, if you're watching, your stickers that you ordered got returned to me. I didn't put enough postage on them, so I got to resend them. Sorry about that. Hopefully you hear this, because I don't really have any other way to get in touch with you. Freelojo says, have you tried Blue Jay on any ESCs yet? I have not. I am perfectly happy with BL Heli, so no real motivation to try Blue Jay, unfortunately. But if you've tried it, let us know. If any of you guys have tried it, let us know in the chat how Blue Jay is. I can't possibly imagine that it's any better than BL Heli. I'm sure it's just different. And just because something is different, like I don't necessarily have the time to try it. If a bunch of people tell me that it's better, I'll give it a shot, but different is, doesn't really do anything for me, unfortunately. Aethix FPV, he says, I broke the arm on the grass. Currently I'm flying 5-inch arms. As it sits, broken arm and everything is 288 grams. Okay, so yeah. You guys saw I crashed this thing a couple times. Nothing really all that hard. Nothing that hit on the ends of the... That's not true. The end of this arm does have a dig in it. So the end of this arm did take a hit. With how skinny these arms are, I have seen the 5-inch arms, and I was kind of like, wow, those are really skinny for 5-inch arms. So yeah, I'm really glad that I did the 250 with the 4-inch arms. Tommy had to really work hard to try to get a 5-inch rig that would be under 250 grams. He made that pretty obvious in the edits that he put out of the design process, right? So like we all knew good and well that it was a struggle to get that weight down, and that's what happens when you bring the weight down that far. Durability suffers. It's sort of a 1-to-1. In my opinion, the 250 on, and Tommy would hate me saying this, but you guys know me. In my opinion, with the 5-inch arms, that's a long-range rig to me. On the 4-inch arms, it becomes a freestyle rig. Or on the 5-inch arms, it becomes like a giant toothpick, basically. That all-up weight to prop size, in my opinion, it just flies like a toothpick. It's just so much propeller and so little weight that it just, to me, again, just to me, it just doesn't make any sense as a full-blown freestyle rig that you're going to be crashing hard enough to break the arms. It makes more sense as just like a cruising rig that you're not going to test the durability of, basically. So yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of what Aethix is running into. It's no free lunches. There are sacrifices to getting the weight down really low. And I really like the way that the frame is designed. I think that Tommy put as much weight into the arms as he possibly could to get as much durability there as he possibly could, but a 250 grams is a hell of a constraint, like really, really difficult to get the weight down that low. So it kind of is what it is. Aethix says, I do have bigger motors too, 2203. You're pretty light though. How heavy did Aethix say it is? 288 grams. You're not much heavier than I am. I'm guessing that you don't have a Runcam hybrid in it. I'm guessing that you don't have a double 20x20 stack in it. So that would kind of explain that. But yeah, I think the big thing that killed it for you, Aethix, is those 5-inch arms, right? Those arms are a full half an inch longer than these 4-inch arms. Although, I don't know, maybe the first time I turtle mode this thing out of a tree and it falls to the ground, it'll break one of these arms. I doubt it, but you never know. Ultralight frames are just not going to be as durable as we kind of expect from 5-inch freestyle rigs. So we got to kind of, we're sort of always doing this, but we always got to sort of just recalibrate for each different rig that we build. Metalurtskin says, I'm not doing a hybrid because I'm on DJI anyway. I bet it'll carry a Go 2 pretty well for the pseudo Cine stuff, though. Yeah, I agree, Metalurtskin. Metalurtskin, I believe, talking about the QAVS Mini. Yeah, for digital, I don't know which direction I would go. Well, that's really interesting. Well, no, I guess it's the same thing. For digital, I do think that this would be better for full-on freestyle. And then I think that the QAVS Mini 4-inch would be better for cinematic stuff, no props in view, long range stuff, because it's dead cat and the rear arms are really long. I would not want to freestyle it. I feel like those rear arms would break all the time, just because, again, they're just very, very long. That's what she said. Ryan Ladmiral says, you got to check out the Nano long range I'm building, full carbon fiber frame, baked in ELRS, GPS 350 milliwatt VTX, might go 500 depending on power requirements, on long range in Discord. It's boobies, he says. If I can remember, I'll try to check it out, Brian. Feel free to send me pictures, because I'm terrible with Discord. Ramdonko left a message with BQE for 2 or 3 ripsqueaks. Good job, Ram. If you guys are waiting for the Ripsqueak V1... Okay, so I've not... speaking of, I've now gotten three messages saying, hey, I think I figured out why the BQE Ripsqueaks have been out of stock. If you have that same thought, that's the V2. This is going to sound very cryptic, but if you have that thought, you're looking at the V2. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say anything else, because I'll spoil the surprise. If you're waiting for a V1 Ripsqueak from BQE, message Bill, message BQE. Say, hey, when's the V1 Ripsqueak going to be in stock? Up until recently, you guys would ask me in the chat, and then I would send Bill a message, and he would just see me over and over again, just asking. If it's me asking and a bunch of you guys asking, you know, that's going to be more of a sense of urgency for him. When it's just me asking him over and over again, for all he knows, I'm just asking for me. Like, I tell him, like, hey, my guys in the chat are looking for this, but he might think that means, you know, 1 potential sale or 2. If there's 10 of you guys asking, he's going to A, order more of them, but B, he's going to make sure that it's on his next carbon order. This goes for like all these manufacturers. Keep in mind, guys, that these manufacturers are really small. Usually the people running their social media platforms are the owners. So, like, message them on Facebook, message them on Instagram. Just when something's not in stock, or if you have a question, shoot them a message. They'll get back to you. They will almost always get back to you. It's easy to forget that. It's easy to be like, oh no, you know, they're busy with shit, they're not going to get back to me. Just try. What is it, like 2 minutes of your life that you're going to spend typing a little message to them? Or is it even 2 seconds? Hey, when's the Ripsqueak V1 back in stock? Boom, done. Just do it. Talk to people. They'll get back to you, I bet you. Double A is in the house. Freelojo says super smooth on my Taycan. I don't know what we're talking about, Freelojo. What's super smooth on your Taycan? I want to know. Double A says, hello, buddy. Athix says, I do have bigger motors, 2203. I usually don't crash due to how maneuverable the build is, too. Okay. Yeah, toothpicks are like that. They're super, super maneuverable. Athix says, I have the iFlight Beast F7, 20x20 VTX, 2203 motors, Ant Cam, and some TPU parts. Gotcha. Tiago Ramos is in the house. What's up, Tiago? How are you, brother? Dragonwing is here. He says, greetings from Norway. 8:48 p.m. God, what is it? 4 a.m. in Norway, Dragonwing? What the hell are you doing awake? Chronic sleep issues, Dragonwing? Feel you there. Okay, so we talked about this. I showed you guys the flight footage. Let's move on to the 75mm Whoop experiment project, whatever the hell we want to call it, with the Insta360 Go 1. To catch you guys up, most of the Insta360 Go footage that you've seen of mine over on the primarily on the Instagram page, but there is some here on YouTube, has been flown with a 65mm. Nose is itchy. 65mm Tiny Whoop on 0802 25,000 kV motors 1S. I had also built a 75mm cockroach framed Tiny Whoop, but there was jello. I was bouncing back and forth between different motors, and I couldn't get the jello out of the Insta360 Go footage. The Insta360 Go is notorious for having jello problems, in fairness. So, I tried a bunch of different motors. The motors that made the right amount of power that I was looking for ended up being these prototype T motors that they very kindly sent me. These are 0803 22,000 kV. These motors will come out at some point. I gave them a whole shitload of feedback, and I think they're going to run with it. They sent me a set of 0802s that were 22,000 kV, and they sent me a set of these 0803s. The 0802s were not high enough kV. I let them know that they really need to be 24,000, 25,000, even 26,000 kV, and they seemed very receptive to that. So hopefully we'll have another set of really high kV 0802s, which would be amazing. Because right now all we've got are the Happy models, which are kind of garbage, and the tinywhoop.com. So the Happy models are 25,000 kV. Those are the ones I run. The tinywhoop.com 0802s are 24,000 kV. Those are still really good, but they're like very rarely in stock. So hopefully T-Motor will do an 0802 24, 25, 26,000 kV that will be in stock. And also, hopefully, it will be a bearing motor. Although these are bushings. That's okay. Whatever. Just another option is good. The 0803s that they sent over, though, were fantastic on this 75 mil. And the 22,000 kV was the perfect... It seems to be the perfect kV, too. So I'm really, really happy with these. I'm really looking forward to them coming out with these motors, because one of mine, the magnet bell is slipping. You know, I don't know if I mentioned that to them. Let me make sure I mentioned that to them. Hold on a second, guys. Zooshan says hello. This is my first time catching the stream. Welcome, Zooshan. I hope I didn't massacre your name too bad. Let's go in here. Who is it at T-Motor? Is it Vivian? No. Vivian left there. It's Kiko. Oh, you know what? Damn. Oh, okay. No. I was working with Kiko. I didn't let her know. A bit more feedback on the 0803s. On one of them, the magnet ring has begun to slip and drop down after 20 or 30 batteries and some crashing. Okay, cool. So yeah, I use this little guy. All right, so let me show you this first. This is like all over my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already saw this. But in case you don't, oh my God, that's a lot of Instagram messages. Holy shit. Today's been a big, the past couple weeks have been big weeks. This is, shit's going crazy, man. Here you go. Oh, you put a little behind the scenes up. Oh, Spuds. There it is. Okay. Oh, that is hard. Hold on, I'm just gonna let it. Oh. Looking for more shit, never gon' fan it. Looking for the caution, never gon' fan it. Niggas talk malice, but I never meant it. I need 2 men that you want me to say. You seen that thing I crash landed on it. Where I came up, niggas thought that I planned it. That bitch ain't sucking, I tell her to can it. All of this money, I think I all this designer, I might have designed it. Looking for more shit, never gon' fan it. Looking for the caution, never gon' fan it. Niggas talk malice, but I never meant it. I need 2 men that you want me to say. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes, but here's the full piece. I used this on the practice day to plan the route and whatnot, and we're gonna look at the footage from the Insta360 Go on this in a second. But this is the full commercial. Yeah, I know, Metal. I'm hoping that's copyright free, but I doubt that it is. It's fine. I won't get a strike from that. It'll just demonetize my already demonetized videos. It's fine. Here's the full piece that I did with Spuds for this studio that Mike will make it. I'll tell you guys this story another time. Check this.
Mike Wilmer.
Shots fired!
Come on now. I don't know. I'm so fucking. So much is going on. I'm man. They did. I don't know. I'm like. Yeah. So there's that. So let me show you this, right? Mike Will made it. Mike Will is a producer with, well, here, I'll show you. This is his, so that was Spud's Instagram. This is his Instagram. Yeah. And there it is. Like, what is this world? What world am I in right now? So I spent most of my day again today. This is another day that I spent the majority of my day just messaging people that have commented on pieces that I've done to get more bookings. So I don't know. I'm sitting here right now with a pair of pliers pulling a hair out of a Tiny Whoop motor, while something that I did is in front of 2 million people. What kind of a weird world have I found myself in? Oh, this is a big one. Oh, wow, that's a good one. So yeah, let's look at some of the scouting stuff that I did with this little guy here. Did I not pull those over? Oh, come on, really? They're on the laptop, but I can just go over here and connect to. Come on, where's the laptop? There it is. Nope, that's not it. Wait, yep, there it is. MacBook Pro, connect as Ciotti desktop. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Eardrummer. There it is. Practice 1, practice 2. Okay, hold on. I totally forgot to drag these over. About a minute. Cool. I'll get caught up on chat. Dragonwing says 250 here. I work for myself. Sometimes I have meeting via web with Asia. Ah, nice. So lots of wakeless nights sometimes. Nice, Dragonwing. Michael Blade says, hey there, better late than never. Goddamn right. Dragonwing says, but yeah, sleep issues as well sometimes. Patio Patterson says 803 is deceivingly larger than 802. I mean, think of it this way, guys. It's 50% more stator height, right? Like, you can't think of things in like the millimeters. You got to think of things in percentages. And going from 0802 to 0803 is a huge difference, right? 2 millimeters tall to 3 millimeters tall. Also, you need to remember that the vertical face of the stator is the only part that does any work. So increasing the vertical of the stator has a much bigger effect than increasing the width of it. So yeah. Metal Dirksen says, oh, we got that. Explosive Fruits says, I was able to shave down 5 to 9 grams of my Apex, sitting at 640 grams all plate. That's a good all plate. Athix says that it was awesome. Thanks, brother. Hey, look at they're done. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, this is the 75 mil rig. Yo, crazy runtime. I was running like 1S 450, 1S 500s, and I was getting like 4 minutes of runtime hauling around the Insta360 Go 1. Crazy. But you're gonna see the problem pretty quickly with this guy. Here we go. So yeah, this is practice, man. This is legitimately just like practice for trying to get this line figured out that I was gonna run. So that's what you're getting to see here, and let's throw some music on it. I'm thinking of doing a little YouTube edit called like Practice Makes Perfect, and taking a bunch of the practice batteries and putting them all, maybe doing like a split screen. You can also see, let me show you guys something. There's this thing that the Insta360 does when you yaw it. Sometimes you see the waves going across the screen. I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. It doesn't do it outside. It only does it inside when there's fluorescent lights. And it only does it when you're yawing. It's kind of weird. I don't really get it. But you're not really going to use this for like ultra high-end work. You're going to use this for like, see, there it goes. See it? You're only really going to use this for like Instagram-y stuff. See, there, it was really doing it. What do we got? Just give you guys a little bit of this. Sound off in chat if you can figure out what the problem is with this 75 rig over the 65. So yeah, let's see who in chat can figure out. Here's the next one. Next battery. So yeah, no jello though, right? No jello at all. No sign of it whatsoever. And that's a big win. That is a big, 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 big win for this 75 rig. In a second, I'll be able to see the chat again, and I'll see if you guys can see if you guys have figured out the problem with the 75 over the 65. I think that's me coming in, yeah. So let's see. You guys in the chat, what do you got to say? Athix is going from teaching Bardwell about micros and Acrobat. Well, Athix says, Ciati FPV going from teaching Bardwell about micros and Acrobat build. Now you have 2 million people seeing your work. OG sub for the win. Yeah, fucking, I don't know. It's a crazy world. Scott FPV says, my Crossfire starter kit came in today. I've been running FR Sky Archer RS on most everything I fly. Michael Blades hits it right away. Props and shot. Isaac M, guards and shot. Athix says, bobbles too much due to being top heavy. Not really. This is actually much easier to control than the 65 because this has much more authority. This has much more raw power, and also the size of this thing seems to work better with the weight of the payload, the weight of the payload, right? The weight of the camera. The 65 millimeter Whoop, like it is working to carry that 18 gram Insta360 Go. Like this thing is really, really, really working its ass off to carry that. And you can also see that in the runtime. Even on like the 1S 300 mAh batteries, this thing will only really get about 1.5 minutes up in the air. Where this fucking thing is getting 4 minutes up in the air with a bigger battery, right? A 450, 500, but it's not like double the size. It's not triple the size, right? It's getting like double, triple the runtime from a battery that's not that much bigger. So, for example, right, when you guys saw me fly under that couch, I don't think I could have done that with this. I don't think I could have been accurate enough in terms of throttle management to get under that couch with the 65. But I was able to do it with the 75. So in terms of like flight dynamics and being able to shoot even smaller, more technical gaps, this is the one. But the ducts come into view much more often on this. And this frame is clear, so it's much more obvious. This has the black cockroach frame. I don't know. You might be able to get this cockroach frame in black. I could just take a black Sharpie and black out the front of the guards, which I'll probably do. But yeah, I mean, it's when you look at where they mount the Insta360 Go, it's the same exact location. For this rig, we really need it. I actually asked Dalton if he'd be willing to do this. This needs to move the Insta360 Go forward a little bit, maybe like up to here. That the problem that's going to cause is it's going to shift the CG a little bit. The CG is damn near perfect with this. We can shift it a little bit, but I think it really needs to move forward. If we can do that, though, this is great. Don't get me wrong. This rig is very, very special, but this ain't much bigger. I mean, there's no gap that this is gonna shoot that this isn't gonna shoot. Okay, like straight up. Especially because of the fact that you have more control with this. The real issue, I think, with this is that I'm the only one with 22,000 kV 0803 motors, and I don't know if I didn't really look, but I don't think there are any other 0803s that are high enough kV. 22,000 is the correct kV. 20,000 maybe could work, but I don't really think so. This is really exactly right. If anything else, I might actually want a little bit more, but I don't know. This is kind of perfect at 22,000. Doesn't work with an 0802 though. 0802 can't do it. Got to be an 0803. So yeah, I'm fucking thrilled. Oh, so here's the other thing, right? When you're nose down with this thing, the prop guards stay out of view. So if you're gonna fly this thing with some momentum, which is why like the ducts would come into view anytime I would slow down or stop or back up. As long as you keep the nose down on this thing, you're not gonna have to worry about the ducts coming into view. But you're gonna be flying this thing like a Cinewhoop, and with a Cinewhoop, you're gonna slow down. You're not gonna have the nose down the whole time. You're gonna want to be able to hover flat, or slide forward flat, or a lot of times even back up. One of the things that Cinewhoops do really good is back up. It's a really cool look. That Carmichael Garden edit that I was showing you guys on Monday, I did a big reverse on that, and it really revealed the room in a really cool way. And then I pitched it back forward and drove it out the window. I'd never really spent much time doing a camera movement like that, and now I'm like super into it. Probably just because it's new and new things are shiny. But yeah, I'm gonna play around more with backing rigs up, and then transitioning between forward and backward. Usually, like, once we're going forward, we're going forward. Once we're going backward, we're going backward. It's kind of hard to transition between the two. But the way that turned out, I just really dug it. So, I don't know. Isaac M. retracted a bunch of messages. What were they, Isaac? What were they? It won't let me unretract your messages. Go-Kart Mozart can't get his Mobula 6 into bind mode. Any thoughts? None whatsoever, Go-Kart. I mean, putting it into bind mode, like, if it won't do it, it's broken, right? Like you hit the button or you do whatever the sequence is that you need to do, and that's kind of it. I don't think there's like... I mean, you can try to go into CLI. I think if you go into the CLI and type bind, maybe, there is a CLI command. Chat, anybody remember the CLI command for bind? That's worth a shot. But usually, I mean, you know, you push the button or hold the button when you plug it in, and, like, that's that. That's annoying, Go-Kart. That's got to be very annoying. Metal Dirtskin has a Ripsqueak on 2.5-inch props with guards that carries a Go-To on 3S. How would something like that be for a shot like this? Really good question. It's gonna be in my it's up on the wall now forever. It would be just like the UMA 85 and the UMA 95. And my experience with the 85 is that it's too fast for indoor stuff like this. It's more for smaller outdoor stuff. And that's only a 2-inch. So a 2.5-inch Ripsqueak would be even more difficult. The other thing that's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to go low enough camera angle without the guards coming into view. So that's going to be kind of tough compared to this. You know, I ended up doing that shoot with a 3-inch Cinesplorer, and it was totally fine. But again, the 3-inch Cinesplorer has the camera sitting at the front of the ducts, right? So, like, there's no amount of hypersmooth or real steady that's going to bring these ducts into view on this rig, because the GoPro mount is pushed so far forward. So that would be the big problem that you would have, Metal Dirtskin, is that you would need to have the nose down the entire time. You would not be able to slow down, or else the guards would come into view on that rig. That's what makes Cinewhoop so special, is they basically just have pushed the goddamn GoPro so far forward that you can run really low up tilt and not get any guards in view. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Blizzard, but the Insta360 Go app is kind of garbage on... It's just garbage. It's garbage on everything. I mean, it works on the Mac, but it's not great. I don't know if I'd call it garbage, though. So yeah, that's what I think you'd be dealing with there, Metal. You would just need to always be charging forward. You wouldn't be able to slow down, or those guards would come into view. But give it a try. I'm really excited to get my the Ripsqueak number 3 built on the 1504 motors to do exactly that, to put the prop guards on them and see what I can do with it. The one thing that the Cinesplorer doesn't do well is like go more than 10 miles an hour. And that's what a Ripsqueak with prop guards would do really well. It would do really well from like 10 to, let's say, 30 miles an hour. So that would be pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to playing around with that. Because, yeah, maybe you have a subject. Like a skateboarder, that'd be good for, like, skateboarding. They're never really going to go more than, like, 20 miles an hour. So that'd be pretty cool. Athix says, I meant 65 millimeters for the bobbles. Yes, right. Yeah, the 65 mil will bobble a little bit more just because it doesn't have the authority. Although, you know what? I need to up the PID sum on this. That'll really help with that. Oh yeah. Okay. More PID summing needs to be done. Drone Pilot saying, what's up? Athix says, shift the Insta360 go forward and toilet tank the battery in the back. You could totally do that. That would be great. I would want somebody to create like a good way. The way that this is set up now, the battery slides right in here, and it's really, really nice. It keeps all the mass really centralized. I would be kind of afraid of moving mass outwards because the power to weight is already such an issue. So to be honest, I think that if this, it looks like if you look at the center line, right? The center line, I'll put my finger where the center line is, right? The Insta360 Go is actually a little bit rearward, right? My index finger here is the center line. So the Insta360 Go is a little bit rearward. So I feel like if it just got shifted forward so that it's as far forward as it is rearward right now, I feel like maybe those ducts would come out and then we could keep the battery in the nice protected, very centralized location. But you're totally right. You could keep moving it forward. It would become in view of the FPV cam at some point, but then you could shift the battery back a little bit. But then then you've got to have some system to hold the battery back here. Maybe that's just a couple of rubber bands, but yeah, a couple different ways to. I almost said skin that cat, but man, what a disgusting analogy. That doesn't make any sense anymore. Rodney says, what if you mounted the 360 vertical? So the other method of Insta360 Go mounting that I went with before moving to this top mount was to mount it vertical and to hang it off the bottom. And what happens is it really has a hard time. There's now so much weight. It really has a hard time in terms of flight dynamics. If you put it vertical on the top, it would be even worse because it would be like way the hell up here. This mount is definitely the way to go. You really, on these things with the low power to weight ratio, you really got to focus on centralizing the mass to get good flight performance, and mounting the thing vertical on the top or the bottom. I mean, having it mounted vertical on the bottom was much better than it would be on top. And it was totally flyable, but it really suffered. There were really like if you nosed it down like this, it got really angry because this is trying to like swim. I don't know. It was a hot mess. Moving to this mount with it sideways, like this, made a huge difference in flight dynamics. Way more than I thought it would. Isaac M says they were incorrect responses to the question about the whoop. I had to delete them since I have no spine. Nice, Isaac. I have no spine. Okay, is that it? Is that all I promised you guys that I wanted to talk about? Here's what the GemFan 3520 props look like after a bunch of those crashes. They held up unbelievably well, just like I thought they would. When I did the unboxing or the mailbag the other day, we looked at these propellers, and I told you guys that this is the newer Gemfan design that's really similar to the 5143, and I really like that design. It's really strong in here by the hub. So these Gemfan props are really, really, really impressive. I really dig them. I wish that they maybe had a little bit more pitch, maybe like a 25 pitch, but to be honest, for this space out front, these were a better prop than the Scimitar. And you know, with a micro, you should be flying small spaces, straight up. Okay, let's swap an ESC. So we've got about 40 more minutes on this public stream, and then I'm going to switch over to the Patreon only stream. We're going to do a little bit of editing, and then I'm going to relax after that. It's been a big day, big busy day, but a really good day, man. Fucking A. That man, he did a really good job on that. You know what else is something kind of interesting? So we've talked before about the bowling alley edit, and I've told you guys that the flying is great. The flying is great, but the flying in that is not show stopping. The sound design is what absolutely sells that, and makes and is, in my opinion, the reason why it went viral. And you can kind of see here. Let me give you guys a give you guys a link to a couple of these things here so that you can watch them in a little bit better quality. So wait, I can just do this. I gotta just do this and then do this. All right, so here's a link so that you can watch it a little bit bigger. So there's that, and then there's this one. So if you watch these both have sound design done, and the sound design is good, but if you back to back these with the oh shit, here, hold on. If you back to back those with the with that bowling alley edit, there's a big difference. I mean, the bowling alley edit also was like a 10-hour shoot, I think they said, and they did like many run throughs. Here's the other thing I put up on Instagram.
rap this. I'm Max Bronson with a six-pack. Scratch that, I ain't got no abs, cat. Besides, I ain't going down that road. Still gotta get more stamps to the passport. 93 till infinity, you kidding me? Man, kinda really hate that song. Old head straight gon' flip on me. White kids with all the dreadlock dreams. Fresh out of fucks to cover us with that stuff. I don't care what you think, this is me. Each year being more off the onion skin. Getting less scared to talk to my friends. Getting such strength from the woman I'm with. 36 years of a goddamn man. Bye. Seriously. Feels like I've been 16 since I was 16. Jeez. It's time for a change. For real. Feels like I'm finding things. Mostly cause I had to stop hiding things. Fucked up how I arrived at this. The luck comes in strange designs, I think. Man, really on my gag shit. Luckiest man in the world, I think. Never pull it all off and no stop to stick this. Jesus goddamn, then it might make sense.
Just be me when I'm home, free to delete all the road. What can I say? We when I come in the door, please don't you leave us no more. What can I say to that? This is love. You don't say nothing, you just hug and get to that loving. When the right ones stay, and you're sleeping late, and you just behave. When they crack that maze, and you mean what you say, and it relays, what can you say to that? I'm a creature, I'm breaching the barricades. I'm a sneak, I'm a beaver, the terror lays. I'm a peek at the pieces you put away. I'm a freak, I'm a beast, I will not behave. I was born this way, I was raised up brave, and I shook that slave, and I made my way. Alright, okay, let's drop that, step back, check that hindsight. Got that, did that, want that, let's get that, maybe let's book that. No doubt, no time, let's take that. Take that, take that, take that. Let's get that, maybe let's book that. No doubt, no time, let's take that. Take that, take that, take that.
I don't care what you think, this is me.
Let's get that, maybe let's book that. No doubt, no time, let's take that. Take that, take that, take that.
I don't care what you think, this is me.
That's trust right there. Isn't that cool? How many of you are on a website ordering those Starlight props right now? Because if you're not, you should be. There is nothing. I've never seen anything in real life as Tron as those Starlight props. They are just stupid. They're so cool. Go to Get FPV, use my affiliate link, and get yourself a couple of sets. They're so fucking worth it. Buy somebody else some of them though, so that you can actually see them. That's kind of the problem with them, is like when you're flying around you can't see them, so you gotta get some friends or teach somebody else to fly. I mean, you can do a little bit of line of sight with them, but when they're really moving around, it's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, get yourself some Starlight props. You're gonna really love them. I have that 4K version of that I'm gonna throw up on YouTube hopefully this week if I can remember. I think that's all I wanted to show you guys. Let's go back to the 5-inch ESC swap. Okay. So we have many things happening, many things. Very glad to be taking you all along for the ride. Let's take the nuts off first. I'm very sad. I have a feeling that this ESC blew up. The only reason this ESC blew up is because that wire came off and I have a funny feeling it may be grounded out. Because, yeah, it was sitting right on top of the pad next to it. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. I could totally be wrong, but I don't know. I don't think I am. I think that's why it shit the bed. But regardless, it was the old version, and we've now got the new version, which is all that matters. What? No, these are in between. Alright. Who's building? What are you guys building? What's going on? Chat is all quiet. Where is everybody? What are you guys doing? Patrons, are you ready for 10 o'clock? Ready for a little editing? I don't think I've ever done a from scratch edit before. I'm hoping that the computer is going to get so angry. Nah, maybe not. I'm hoping that the fact that it's in 2.7, the computer won't get super angry at me. But it might, come to think of it. So it looks like I glued this connector to the ESC, which you can do with Acons because they're so goddamn reliable, which is good. Alright, I think I got all that glue off of there. Let's see. Let's try to disconnect this. Yeah, there we go. Cool, so that's free. We are going to need to take this guy off. But first we're going to take the motor leads off. And the soldering iron is up to 700 degrees. Brian Ladmiral is building lots. Mud of Dirt Skin has to take a break in a few to watch LeVar Burton host Jeopardy. Really? Ooh, that's pretty cool. LeVar Burton is the man. So this is tip reconditioner. I don't know how it works, but I know that it does work. And then Tim Coker says some asshole already thumbed down the Patreon-only stream when I looked at it like an hour ago. Also, I can't find the stack for my 3-inch build. Moving sucks. Shit goes everywhere. That's interesting. I wonder if it's somebody upset that... I don't know. There's people that have this weird, like, self-righteous opinion that nobody's allowed to make money, and that you have to give everything away for free. It's very strange. I assume that it's usually young kids, since, you know, they don't know anything about the world, and they don't have to pay anything, you know? They don't have to pay for anything. But yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird that people, you know, I give 98% of my content away for free, and then, like, I do, like, a couple small little things for the people that support me, and people get all pissed off. It's really weird. What's really funny is that stream is public right now. So that person, he could have gotten it for free. You know, just saying. But instead, they got upset that there are people in this world who have to pay bills. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I've luckily it's not many people, but it's always somebody. There's always at least one, which I don't know. It confuses me the most, I think, because it's like a basic kind of thing. I don't understand. I feel like when I was a kid I understood that, right? Because, like, you have parents who have to have jobs, you know? Maybe that's the disconnect. Maybe the disconnect is that people don't understand that this is my job, right? They think that this is just my hobby for fun, and that, you know, I'm making $60K a year during the day. I'm not. You know, I'm making like $24K a year doing this. And if I don't charge for this, then I'll make $0K a year. And I won't be able to do this anymore. I guess that's the main thing that confuses me, is like, it seems pretty obvious that, like, if you're going to do this for a living, which I obviously am and talk about all the time, that you have to make money. Like, you can't just, like, I didn't come from money. Like, I'm not independently wealthy. I'm damn near in bankruptcy. So it's like, I don't know, it's just weird. People are just awful. Very confusing. Very, very confusing. But I digress. This very well used but now blown up ESC is almost out of here. My God. You can pull these things apart quickly in comparison to how long it takes to build them. It's really disheartening how quickly you can tear one of these things down. Don't feel good. I wish it took longer. Just getting some heat into this, trying not to lay the soldering iron down again on the I already accidentally touched the shrimp wrap on the Crossfire Nano and burned through it a little bit here. That's okay. Come on, yo! Heat up! There we go. That's nice and hot. Let's just get the rest of these little guys out of here. That is the wire for the capacitor. This is the external LED. I think that one was for the VTX. Okay. So I've done a thing here where the positive and the negative leads on the capacitor, I used black wire for both. Don't do that. Ow! Oh, wow, that ESC is hot. Yeah, don't do that. It's just silly. But I did. So now I have to deal with it. And I'm going to deal with it by just putting each one of those wires one on one side, the other on the other. And there we go. Alright, so we got that off of there. Just trying to flatten this wire out. It got all scraggly. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. ESC is free. It's going to be hot, 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 hot. Oh, there's the problem. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. This ESC is definitely blowing up. Alright, hold on. Let me launch the Logitech software so that I can manually control the piece of shit webcam. Alright, ready? Whoever spots the problem first and comments in chat with the right answer wins nothing. You can't go any closer than that, Logitech? Are you shitting me? Hold on. That'll get it closer. That, my friends, is an entire missing FET. So it must have hit so hard that that FET completely broke off. See, here's the other side. 4 of them in a row. Wait. 4 of them in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this side. 3 of them in a row. That's not good. Wow. That's pretty gnarly. Into the pile it goes. Damn. Fetless. We went fetless on that. All right, let me fix this camera. Fat. Grizz FPV says, I have a family of 6, pay my bills and help support my boy, Ciati. Family of 6, Grizz. Oh my god. Brave. Brian Ladbrough says, I also still have to fix my digital 4-ride and digital TP3. Smash the TPU camera lens on both in less than an hour. Fuck. Trying to hit this sick bridge power loop to awning gap small. Nice. What's up, Kaiser Soze? Alright, I can quit out of this. Don't save. I have to go over to that other. So we got about 20 minutes left on this public stream. I'm gonna come over to the Patreon only stream, and I'm going to make it unlisted. The link to the Patreon only stream for you patrons is sitting in your email. It's also on my Patreon page. It's also in Discord. Okay. Alright, we're unlisted on that. Cool. So I'm going to keep going on this ESC swap, but then I'm probably going to finish this up off the stream. It's just an ESC swap. There's not a whole lot that's super interesting. I do need to grab an ESC. I put that ESC away, so I need to grab that out of the box here. Take your FPV crate boxes, turn them inside out, and reuse them. When you turn them inside out, the outside is nice and light, so you can write on it. And reuse them. They're good boxes. Maybe I didn't put that ESC away. I guess I didn't. Shit, what did I do with it? That's not good. Fuck. What did I do with it? Oh, wait. I put it in the little spot where I, like my little holding area for when I want to put things away, but I want to put them all away at once. Right? Hey, Acon AK32 Pro 50 amp. Cool. Here we go. What's up, Paulie Lee? I'm doing good. FinFPV can't say anything about durability yet, as I haven't crashed them hard, but they survived a couple tree branch clips, which is more than the F4s. What are you talking about? Oh, not sure if you've had anybody comment on the 5236 props yet, but they fly fast and smooth on my heavy Hero 9 rig. 100% favorite, new favorite props. I have a couple of sets that I'm really looking forward to running, but my 5-inch fleet is kind of been abused. So I'm, although I think this is the last one that needs fixing. So I just haven't really been flying for fun much, if at all, lately. Which is okay, because the flying that I've been doing has been very fun. It just hasn't been for fun. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. Layman Board says, I guess I'm not cool enough to hang in the Patreon stream. Has nothing to do with coolness. It only has to do with $3. That's all it's going to take to get into the Patreon stream is $3. Or you could have just hit the link while the link was public, to be honest with you. But yeah, you're definitely cool enough, man. But do you have 10 cents a day? That's the real question. Because that's what it takes. And we're going to be doing some editing. So, I mean, it's not like a groundbreaking stream, but, you know. You like watching editing? We're going to edit down the footage from the maidens of the 250 on 1804s with 3.5-inch gem fan, and then 3.5-inch Emax Avan plops. And then I will put that edit, which will be 4K, up onto the Patreon-only YouTube playlist, which has like 90 or 80 some odd videos in it. And then, yeah, you guys can see the quality of the Runcam Hybrid on a really interesting 3.5-inch build with 4-inch arms. I'm also I only had those 2 batteries. I am also going to fly that rig on the GemFan 4023 props because it'll clear them. I already know that it's not going to be as good, though, because I've run those props on the 1804 motors, and they're just a bit too much. It's a bit too heavy of a prop for that size motor. But I'll do it anyway, just for funsies. Alright. This came with these really nice M3 white M3 plastic spacers. That's kind of cool. Very cool of AECOM to include those. Those are really useful. FinnFEV says, "You've been killing the Cinewhoop game. Love seeing your stuff getting out there." Thanks, brother. Appreciate that, Finn. I'm working it, man. I've just got my head down and I'm just charging forward. It's really nice that I'm in a much better mental state than I was last year. I don't know. I keep waiting for like the other shoe to drop and for the depression to come back and kick the shit out of me and ruin everything. But it isn't. Probably because I'm not letting it. Like, I'm just doing a lot of things that keep depression away. Exercise, meditation. That's really it. Exercise and meditation practice, and yoga being exercise. Those 3 things have done more for my depression, to help my depression than any medication that I was ever on for the 3 or so years that I was doing that. And talk therapy too, of course, with a brilliant talk therapist. Huge help right there. Yeah, I mean, it's really just about developing the tools, and developing the tools means putting the fucking work in, man. Like, that's really all it is. Depression has a way of making you very lazy and very tired and very beaten down. And it's hard. Like, in the times that you need it most, right? Like when the depression is coming online and really kicking the shit out of you, it makes you not able to do those things. But what's really interesting is when everything really went to hell this year, and my wife told me she was leaving me, and like all these other things happened, I just fought, and I just said no, like, I won't kill myself. And I started doing all of these things, and that put me on this path. I don't know. It's like, that was a moment that I would expect me to just say, like, oh, that's it. Like, I give up. But somehow instead I said, no, fuck you. And have just been pushing through it ever since. And like, I don't know, yoga's fun. Like, it feels good. I've met really cool people. There are beautiful women in the classes. Exercise has been fun too. Meditation has been fucking life-changing, and I just have like really cool experiences doing it. I have Healthy Gamer to thank, big time. Healthy Gamer GG on YouTube, and he's got a podcast and he's on Twitch. Had a lot to do with this. But I don't know, like at the end of the day, you just gotta sort of put your fucking head down and do it. And like, I don't really know. Like, I don't really know how to tell you guys to do that. Like, every once in a while I'll get a message from one of you guys that says like, you know, hey, watching you do it gave me the confidence to do it. And like that's insane. Like that's so cool. There's like nothing that you guys can say to me that means more to me than that. But like other than that, I mean, you just kind of have to do it. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's real fucking hard, and you have to do it every day. That's the really hard part. But it's totally doable. Like, I'm not fucking special. I'm just a guy, and if I can do it, you guys can do it. That's for goddamn sure. It kicked my ass for a long time, but when it mattered most, I was able to do it. And that when it mattered most, that kind of that could have had a lot to do with it, right? Like, a lot of times I'm the type of person that like I'll be lazy until I'm totally backed into the corner. But then once I'm backed into the corner, I'll come out fucking swinging. So, I mean, maybe that was what needed to happen for me. It really sucked because I lost a 15-year relationship. But ever since then, things have been fucking rad. Like I've experienced joy that I haven't in many, many, many years. And I kind of had a moment the other night on the couch where I just sort of looked around and I was like, this is a fucking great life. Like, I'm okay living alone. I've always really not wanted to live alone, and I've always like wanted to live with someone, be that like a roommate or a wife or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's nice to now know that like I don't need that, and I've found a lot of joy in not having that, and in being able to fucking crank the stereo up at 2 a.m. and just rock out with my literal cock out. And to have women over and to, I don't know, just do shit. It's been, I'm a lucky guy, man. A lot of things happened at just the right times, and like, I really wish that a lot of these things had happened sooner, but like, who gives a fuck, man? Like, they happened. And that's all I'm focused on, is that they happened, and I'm gonna keep them, and I'm gonna keep that momentum going. And, yeah, like I always say, I can't wait for you guys to come along for me on this fucking ride, because it's going to be a goddamn ride, and you're going to see some gnarly shit going on. And I'm so grateful to you guys too, man. Like you guys enabled a lot of this to happen. You know, like you guys supporting me in here, watching these live streams, jumping on the Patreon, doing super chats, sending me PayPal, like, you guys did this, you know, and like, that's not lost on me, and it really, it's really pretty amazing. So I don't know, take something back from that, right? Like, don't let that just be in vain. Look at me and gain strength from that, I guess, or whatever, and make some shit happen for yourself, if that's what you want. If you're comfortable with where you're at, that's amazing. Stay where you're at. That's absolutely fantastic. But if you're in a spot in life where you want more, do it. Go fucking get more, and do it now. Like jump off the stream right now and do something, because it's about to end anyway. Like, that's a big part of it for me, is like, I'm not a patient person. If I don't start something right now, I'm not going to start it. And that's okay. Like, that's not something to beat yourself up about and be like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit because I procrastinate and I do this. Like, no, that's just the way that you are. Like, I got news for you. Most people are horrible procrastinators. I got more news for you. Procrastination is the most efficient way to get shit done. Because all procrastination is, and this is coming straight from Dr. K, for the record, of Healthy Gamer GG, all procrastination is the most efficient possible way to get some shit done. You're going to have a test that's in 2 weeks from now. So you can start studying right now, and for the next 2 weeks, you can study a little bit every day. Or you can have fun for the next week and a half, or week and 6 days, in my case, usually with tests, and then cram at the last second, and you've had... and you've had a week and 6/7 of absolute fun playing video games and dicking around, and then you crammed at the last second. Who gives a shit? You still did okay, right? Ooh, I got an A- instead of an A. So what? You had a blast. Live your life. Procrastination is not something to beat yourself up about. It's something that we all deal with. And it's efficiency. I know that sounds weird, but it's your brain being efficient and saying, like, hey, we can still make this happen, and we can fuck around and have a lot of fun. What's wrong with that? If doing really good in school or on that test or whatever, if that was fun to you, then you wouldn't procrastinate, right? Like, you procrastinate the things that you don't want to do, and you do the things that you do want to do. Like, newsflash, boys, that's self-care. Make friends with women that understand self-care, and they will open your fucking eyes to what that really means and how to do that. It's something that, as men, we have no concept of. Self-care is not something that any of us have ever been taught, and it is hard. It is hard to kind of convince yourself to do that. But it's really fucking important, and you really need to figure that shit out. Because talking shit about yourself and telling yourself you're an asshole over and over and over again ain't gonna do you any good. If you spent that time doing something you enjoy, right? Sitting for a half an hour and telling yourself you're an asshole versus playing video games for a half an hour, usually at the end of that half an hour, you're going to be in a much better mood after playing the video games. So stop beating yourself up. I know it's way easier said than done, but maybe now that you have a little bit more science, so to speak, as to, why that's happening, go watch Healthy Gamer GG. Dr. K will straighten you out. It's 9:59. This is the end of this live stream. Metal Dirtskin with a $5 super chat. He says, I know we're all glad you're still around, and it is a good example to keep heading forward no matter what. I'll get there too. Just watch me. That's it. I'll get there too. Just watch me. Fuck you, world. Watch this. Right? Like, that's like 90% of it. Fuck you. Watch this. And you just do it. Just go. Just put your head down and smash. Brian Ladmiraw says, that's awesome, man. I've struggled with anxiety and depression in the past. Have it under control these days for the most part. Yes, yoga and meditation does help. Keep up the fight. Fuck yeah, Brian. Finn FPV says, all the work you've put in 100% shows, man. You give the rest of us that are struggling hope and drive to become better. Hell yeah, Finn. Thanks, brother. Metadorskin says, I think I'm in the spot where mine is kicking my ass a lot. I'm trying to push myself to do this, to do all this anyway, but it ain't easy. There's no time limit, Metal. There's no time limit, brother. If it takes you a year, it takes you a year. I have no patience, and it's a real problem, because if I can't fix myself right now, then I'm a piece of garbage. It ain't gonna happen right now. It ain't gonna happen this week. It ain't gonna happen this month. Right? Like, I'm 7 months into this, and I got a long ways to go. You gotta get out of that, like, if you're in this, if you're like me, and if you're impatient, and if you need to fix everything right now, it ain't gonna work. All the really good things in your life have taken time. It's just the way it is. Tiago says, and not working in a draining corporation. That helps. Yeah, there's things that you can do in life that definitely help. But even if you're working with a draining corporation, you can still do talk therapy. As a matter of fact, if you're working for a company, you probably have health insurance, so you can almost definitely do talk therapy a lot less expensive. I pay $140 a week for talk therapy. It is my health care, though, right? Like, those of you that have insurance at the company that you work for, you pay more than $140 a week probably in insurance. This is my health care. Like, I don't have regular health care because I'm a healthy guy. I spend it all on talk therapy because my brain will fucking kill me. The second leading cause of death after accidents is suicide right now. So, like, you want to talk about healthcare? Your brain is, our brains are the things that are killing us 30 and 20 and 40-year-old men. Take care of it. Take care of your brain, yo. It's the only part of your body that can actively just kill your ass. FPV Trucker with the last question that he says, do you think an Acon 32 55 amp will work on a 9-inch America with 2816? Jesus. Probably not. That's... I mean, it's going to depend on what you do with it. If you push that rig really hard, I think it'll blow up. Although, I don't know, man. There's probably a Facebook group for big 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10-inch quad people. I would ask them. My hunch, though, is no. My hunch is that 55 amps is not enough. Great question, FPV Trucker. Do me a favor, let us know if you find the answer out. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Sorry to get a little bit preachy, but not really sorry, because mental health is a really big deal. And if you're still here, you're probably cool with listening to me rant about it. Yeah, it's the second leading thing that kills people in this country. Think about that, right? The number one thing is just accidents, all accidents together. The second thing that kills the most people in this country is suicide. Take care of yourself. You deserve it. You stuck it out and you figured out FPV. That's a person that needs to stay around because you're a stubborn son of a bitch and you can figure anything out if you can figure this nonsense out. Love every single one of you guys. Patrons, I'll see you in a minute. 661 says, what's up? Have you seen the Ripsqueak V2? I have. Bill and I have been talking about it for a while. It's interesting. I can't wait to get my actual hands on one. Patrons, I'll see you guys in a minute. Non-patrons, it's only $3. $3 a month. It's 10 cents a day. It helps me out a huge amount, and it's going to get you access to Patreon-only streams like the one that I'm about to start. If you join Patreon right now, there's a post in there with the link to the stream that's about to start. It's an editing stream. See you guys in a minute. Here's a little bit more flying from the Flow State day. Here's the second location that we went to, which is Club Metropolitan. Thanks for hanging out, boys. I love you. Instead, this is just me cleaning the camera. Come on. Come on. Oh, nope. That's not the right one. Oh, nope. That's not the right one. That's the one.